While the Straw Hats and Barto Club are on their way to Zoro, they find themselves attacked by a group of boat-racing pirates in the middle of the night. Separated from their crewmates, Luffy and Bartolomeo are taken to a shimmering island known as Silver Mine, where a deadly pirate alliance is out to secure their bounties.
On the next One Piece, the Silver Fortress, Luffy and Barto's great adventure. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
After falling down a chasm in Silver Mine, Luffy, Bartolomeo, and his childhood friend, now enemy, Desire, find themselves lost in a bewildering underground maze. Things get deadly as a cutthroat conductor closes in, and if they hope to see the light of day again, they must work together.
On the next One Piece, an underground maze, Luffy versus the Tram Human. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
As Luffy, Bartolomeo, and Desire search for a way out of the mine shaft, a new threat shows up. Paseta is determined to make their escape impossible, even if it means taking out the mine itself. Just as things look dire, Zoro and the others arrive in the nick of time to lend a hand.
On the next One Piece, the sword technique heats up. Law and Zoro finally appear. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
Taking over for Desire, Luffy steps in to finish the fight with Bill. But when news of Bill's defeat reaches the mysterious guild Tesoro, he sends him a message that pushes the pirate over the edge. Now, desperate to change his fate, Bill returns unveiling a new ability.
On the next One Piece, a desperate situation. Luffy fights a battle in extreme heat. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
Luffy and crew sail ahead towards the legendary island of Zo, the native land of the isolated Mink Tribe. However, that's no easy task. Zo's known to naturally stave off travelers with its fierce currents and heavy fog that dangerously engulf the entire island.
On the next One Piece, curtain up on a new adventure. Arriving at the Phantom Island Zo, I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
Edward Weevil. Not only does he claim to be the son of the infamous Whitebeard, but he's also a member of the 7 warlords. Whether or not Whitebeard is his father, Weevil's about to prove their resemblance when his rampage causes massive chaos in the New World.
On the next One Piece, the new warlord, the legendary Whitebeard's son appears. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
In an effort to meet up with Sanji's group, Luffy and the others make their way toward the back of the massive pachyderm. After numerous crises throughout their ascent, including a sentimental parting with a not-so-old friend, the enigmatic Phantom Island finally appears before them.
On the next One Piece, a deadly elephant climb. A great adventure on the back of the giant elephant. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
Zoro's group confronts the members of the Mink Tribe. Meanwhile, as Luffy is wandering alone in the deep, dark forest of Zoro, a pair of mysterious shadows quickly creep up behind him, and a surprising new threat lands upon him like a terrible bolt of lightning.
On the next One Piece, a battle begins. Luffy versus the Mink Tribe. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
With a rain eruption threatening to wash them away, Wanda leads Luffy and the others toward the right flank forest. Then, as a clandestine mink fortress becomes visible through the thick fog, Luffy is overjoyed to see Nami and the rest of his beloved companions once again.
On the next One Piece, Garchu, the Straw Hats reunite! I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
While Luffy and his friends battled in Dressrosa, Sanji's half of the crew engaged in a struggle of their own. A sudden attack from Big Mom's singing ship made their voyage to Zo a rocky one, with cannonballs flying in every direction. Now the details of their death-defying escape are revealed at last.
On the next One Piece, start to counterattack. Great moves by the Curly Hat crew. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
The raiding bell suddenly rings across the peaceful Mokomo dukedom. A foreboding rumble heralds the coming of Jack the Drought, a cohort of the Emperor Kaido. Wanda tells this tale to the Straw Hats, who learn of Zo's tragedy and the courage of its people.
On the next One Piece, a threat descends. The Beast Pirate's Jack. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
The Gifters, a strange group of fighters with devil fruit powers, face off against the elite Mink warriors known as the Musketeers. However, Jack's overwhelming strength seems to make quick work of the Mink's defenses. Now their only hope lies in the paws of their mightiest hero.
On the next One Piece, the king of the day, Duke Dogstorm, appears. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
Electricity lights up the battlefield as a rain eruption pours down. Unable to negotiate with the merciless Jack, Duke Dogstorm and his musketeers fight to stop his rampage. Then, as dusk falls across the land, a raging king roars forth from the forest.
On the next One Piece, the king of the night, Master Cat Viper emerges. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
The clash of animalistic savagery between Jack and the Mink Tribe relentlessly rages on for 5 days straight. Just as it seems the Minks have seized the chance to turn the fight around, an impatient Jack unleashes a malicious attack that overwhelms the people of Mokomo dukedom.
On the next One Piece, the exterminated capital, the Curly Hat crew arrive. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
After being poisoned by one of Caesar's biological weapons, time is of the essence for the Mink Tribe as they fight for their lives. Unable to watch them suffer, the Curly Hat crew bounds into action and creates an antidote in order to save as many as possible. But their compassionate act may not be enough.
On the next One Piece, the time limit closes in. The bond between the Mink Tribe and the crew. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
As the crew heads off to meet Cat Viper, they learn of Sanji and Caesar's departure. 2 days earlier, the Big Mom pirates arrived in Zo. However, after seeing what's become of his homeland, Peckhams becomes full of anger, leaving both him and Sanji in a difficult situation.
On the next One Piece, the delinquent comes home. Emperor Big Mom's assassins. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
Sanji's sudden disappearance left his crew shocked and confused, but the key to his fate lies in the hands of the cutthroat pirate captain Gang Beji. As Sanji receives a life-changing letter from the Emperor Big Mom, the future of the Straw Hat Pirates suddenly becomes terrifyingly uncertain.
On the next One Piece, the truth behind the disappearance. Sanji gets a startling invitation. I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
Sanji is forced into a corner by the horrifying power of the Emperor Big Mom. And so, to rescue his friends from the clutches of Beji and to settle a long-forgotten issue from his past, he gathers his determination and chooses to move forward on his own.
On the next One Piece, to my buds, Sanji's farewell note. I'm gonna be king of the pirates! Subscribe, you guys! Join our crew